You know, every programmer should be able to read code in plain English as a sentence. This is something that can easily be done to solve problems or even to have a firm idea on what the code is supposed to do. Well, hello! I'm Jessica the Rising Phoenix Dev, and so today we are going to discuss the reasons why you should do this and how to go about utilizing the skill in a few different ways. So let's sit back, relax, and go into how to read your code like a fucking sentence. Note:
I am saying English, but this does not mean that if English is not your native language, that this does not apply to you. You should be able to translate your code into complete sentences regardless of what your native language is. And if you do plan on being a programmer, having an understanding of the English language will make your life substantially easier.
Before we go into depth with this, I want to first explain why it is important that you should be able to do this consistently and very often. Being able to translate your code into plain English means that you understand every function call, parameters usage, and language syntax, which makes it very easy to see where your code went wrong or how the code is supposed to work. Every line of code does something very specific and should have a reason for existing. This includes comments, fields, properties, and functions. Being able to explain all of these things clearly goes a long way in understanding not just your code, but another person's code as well. Think of your source code as a book and it tells a fantastical story. With each line of code written, another sentence is created in that novel. Each class is a separate chapter of the story until it culminates into a full novel that has a beginning, middle, and an end. Now that I have described the why of reading code like a sentence, let's get into the how. On the screen, you should see some code. Take a moment to read the code and try to understand what it is supposed to do. Don't worry, the code in the image is not too complicated. Damn it. Hopefully the image won't go haywire on us again. I'll give you a few moments to look it over and to try writing it down as a sentence. Alright, now let's see how you fared. This is what the code says in plain English. System gives commonly used value and reference data types, events and event handlers, interfaces, attributes, and processing exceptions. Example is the name of this specific set of tasks that makes sure that there is no naming conflicts. Class program is the name of this set of blueprints to follow, and it is private by default. The entry point to this application is static void main, and without it, the program would not run. Var population is set to be a tuple with the parameters of string, int, 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 int. This means there is a 7 tuple or a septuple, which is a tuple with 7 parameters. The string value is New York, and we have the numbers 7,891,957, 7,781,984, 7,894,862, 7,071,639, 7,322,564, and 8,008,278. Each of these numbers represents the census information that dates from the year 1950 until 2000. Console.WriteLine will format and write population of the first parameter in 2000, second parameter, comma, population.item1, which is the first item of the tuple, the string value, comma, population.item7, which is the last item, the last int value. 1:n0 designates that this should add all of the other int values together with the last int value and have a precision of 0, meaning that it will drop all the excess decimal points. How did you fare? Did you write something similar that explained the code as closely as possible to something the average idiot could understand? Now you should notice right away there is something missing from this code. If you run it, you wouldn't have time to actually see the results. In other words, I should have added a console.readLine to pause the exiting process until I press the enter key. This can be expanded into game development, more complex application development, mathematics, and everything else related to programming or computer science. I went with the simple example to show that it doesn't matter how trivial an application is. It is a good habit to get into no matter what your level of programming is. If this doesn't convince you, take a look at my How It's Developed series where my tutorials are designed with this exact setup in mind. Every tutorial and book pretty much should follow this exact idea if they are worth their salt, because they should be designed to teach you exactly what you need to know and why you are doing something, not just the how-to. This has been the Rising Phoenix Dev, and remember, Read your code like a fucking sentence, and 99.99% of all your problems can be solved.